Okay, so thank you. I hope you had a good break. So on this one, we are going to, I'm going to speak slower, that's one thing. Second thing is we are going to walk you through each of the screen. But first, let us try to run one log, and then we can look at the actual options that are available to you when you are doing the testing. To see, let's do a walk test, for example. So we can go to how to do walk testing, and let's see what options you can do when you are doing this test. So we start by, as you know, from the guide, we start from start script. We already have a script already. There are many. Actually, for India, we create a default as well. So you just fill in the blanks with the file or with the number you want to call or download. Okay, so we pick one. Let's say we pick a 20 MB.
It's not working. 20 MB is not working. 5 is working.
5 is working. Okay, we put in a name on the file. So we say put in conference Chennai test. Let's say. Okay, so now that the script is starting, you can navigate by moving the tabs on top here. Just moving the tabs on top here.
You need to point with mouse, doesn't it?
Let me.
Where he is clicking, please show them.
Okay. Okay. So as we test, we can move along these tabs, so we can see multiple parameters. This is the first thing. We will go into each of the screen later, but right now the first one we are seeing is the script. So in the script, as you can see, there's a loop, and inside the loop, with the space, we have wait, and we have HTTP download. So this is what we are doing now, is wait and FTP download.
On the below location.
Yeah, and on the below is location. So if you do not see the numbers coming up here, that means GPS is not fixed yet. That means GPS is not fixed yet. There are two ways to look at GPS. One is here, and one is here. So if there's a blank, there's no there's a color doesn't fill in here, or if it is still blinking, this means the GPS is not fixed yet. And this is the important thing to keep in mind: is GPS have to be fixed. So if you're doing outside drive testing, and this thing does come up, this thing doesn't come up, then wait for GPS to fix. One place to check GPS is to go into the settings of the phone, and in a place called location, check to make sure that the mode is high accuracy. Because sometimes the default is like battery saving or device only. The fix will be slower and the GPS will not be correct. And ACQ will not plot unless GPS is totally fixed. So use high accuracy. And now that we are sure GPS is high accuracy, we go back into ACQ by dragging the top part of the screen down and click on it, and we are back. Okay, the other screens we will go to later, but for now, the split screen is here on the top left. So if we click on it, we can choose parameters that we want to display here. So let's say I'm watching what the script is doing, but at the same time, I want to see LTE data. So I choose LTE data, and this is the stats for the LTE data, and this is TDD LTE or FDD. Probably FDD. Is it FDD? FDD.
Yeah, FDD.
Achha. FDD LTE. So I can.
How you can distinguish?
We'll show in through the tabs. I'll show another time.
So this is a split screen, and you will notice on the lower right here is an option button here. I can click on it, and there will be options on what I can do. The first thing is split lock. Split lock means if you are doing one sector and you want to move to another sector, right? And you want that information to be part of another log, you press this and you press split log, a new log will be created. So there's the first log and there's a second log. This is like in temps or whatever where you wanted to have two logs. And add tag means you can add your personal note into it. Just click on it, add personal note into it. So let's say new cell site, new whatever.
Or log to.
Yes, sir. And pause recording. Pause recording means if I click on this, the information that is being displayed here will not be recorded. Now we use it, for example, for walk testing. If I want the information, let's say the building has 2 wings, and I want information from both wings, but not the bridge that connects the 2 wings together. So I do a walk test of the first wing, then I pause the recording, and I walk across to another wing, and then I click resume recording. So the radio parameters from that will not be included into the log. Okay. The next is mute, unmute. If you will recall, the phone was saying something FTP start, FTP end before, but I press mute, so it stops talking. But if I press unmute, then once it's being finished downloading, it will speak again. Oh, it speaks.
Download success.
And this one here is take photo. Take photo allows you to put in a more photo note into the report as well. So if you are drive testing and you think, oh, this is very interesting, I take photo, and it will be included as part of the log. Then take screenshot. This is, for example, you want to capture a moment. Sometimes you don't want to replay, you just want to capture a moment, send it to someone. Then we can click capture screenshot, and it will be saved into the screenshot folder of the phone, and then we can send it to anyone else. When you ever do any part of this, if you go to event, you will see this as well. Take photo or event, first byte received, last byte received. These things you will see in the event. If you want to see how many events has happened, then we go into event counter, and there's a voice stats here, there's HTTP stats down here, and through request we provide the average. You were the one who asked for it. The average is here. So now we have an average here. If you want to view the average live on phone, it is here. Yep. And this is the other stats. You out on me.
เขาทำ FTP ใช้ FTP ไม่ใช่ FTP
ใช่แต่ว่าเนี่ยดาวน์โหลดเอาไม่เป็นไร And then there's L3, which Kasif will go into more detail. And then this is a sys. Sys is a simple switch. It lets you see the system mode, is it roaming or not, the EMI and the EMC, the MNC, because sometimes I don't know about this yet, but in some countries one operator they use multiple MNC, and I think in India too. But in Thailand, for example, they use it for different technology. So LT goes to another MNC altogether. So this will help you see. And this is LT allowed access, it registered, normal service. This will be here. Then this is the part about the voice, the data. And if you keep going along, it's a lot of streams, but because it will get to it in a second. And then this is LTE radio part. We have that for carrier aggregation, but
The toast. Kindly explain the toast.
what those?
Yeah, we'll explain when I go through it.
Yeah. And then, okay, but since this is the radio part, so we will not talk about it now. But this is the testing part. So for indoor testing, if you're doing indoors, what you do is first you come to the screen, map indoor, keep scrolling, and you come to the screen, and there are 4 or 5 options here. the first option is when you start doing walk testing, you have to take photo of the fire escape, right? So you take the photo, let's say you take it, you click on it, and there's nothing in the camera now. Okay. Oh, because it's connected to this. Okay, what to do in that case? No, but we can. Let me see if it can. I can come out, use the camera. It's connected to the PC, so I'm not sure if the
Gallery is accessible.
yeah the memory is accessible. But oh, that's it. Yes, it can. So we go into gallery, we choose the image we want to use, we open it.
It's running.
Okay, it says too big, 1 MB. This we put it there because somebody somewhere is still using HTC Explorer, and sometimes it's too big. Explorer cannot handle it. But with these newer phones, there's no issue at all. So we click continue. The image is loaded. If it doesn't load, just click the choose again. Repeat the process and it'll come back. So now that we are in here, you can. I'm using my finger to scroll along the image. So if I scroll it along, the targeting location change. The key thing is the target. So I can move the picture however I want, but the target will keep moving. So let's say I want to start from this corner. This is our entrance. So here, I can choose the parameter to display. The default is ECAO, but now I'm in 4G. So I change to RSRP. And I click. And there's a little dot here that shows up. Now, if I walk on a steady pace, and steady means just walking slowly. Let's say I have arrived at this gate here. I click plus again, and then the line will be drawn. And as you keep walking along, it will keep getting drawn. The trick is just to do it regularly and at short paces. So, because what happens when we click on this is that it will spread out the information collected so far into a line. So it's important that we don't click it too fast, because otherwise the information to be spread onto the line is too little and it will not look nice. So as you can see, it looks nice, right? But if I just do it now, there will be less points to use from. Now let's say I make a mistake. What I do, I click on delete. So if when I click on delete, what it does is it just take back 1 point, one marking. So it just goes back here. So, and I just click again. And if I click delete again, then it goes back to here. But the information are not deleted. So when you click again, the information also that I deleted also get the average into here as well. Oh, and I can change the information on the fly. So I was looking at RSRP. I can look at RSRQ as well. That's what we are seeing. And this is the option. On the lower right is the option.
And the legends of these display?
The legends of this display, we don't have space for that, but the same legend will be on Map Outdoors. Oh, and one thing is, if you're doing indoor testing and suddenly you decide to do outdoor testing, then you cannot just go into outdoors and open Map. And the reason is because two types of log cannot coexist. If you're doing indoor, it's just indoors. If you're doing outdoors, it's just outdoors. So it's very important to just use one mode only. If you're doing indoors, then finish it indoors. Finish it in indoors, not move to outdoors. We have a person who do a 5-hour drive testing, arrive at the building, go into the building, do indoor testing, and so what happened is all the 5-hour testing it just got summarized into the indoor testing. They don't get the outdoor testing. So this has to be one of the key points to be careful of. So let's say we have finished testing, because we are going to show you the outdoor testing yet, and we don't want to have the information get deleted. So we press back, or I can press end script here, and I confirm the name of the tag. I press yes. Now it's getting uploaded. So this is the test cycle, as we are aware of. Now, once this is done, we're going in, let's try the outdoor testing. And once outdoor is done, then we can spend the afternoon talking about how to prepare the phones. Done. Alright. So that's it for indoors. Log is uploaded. I can actually go into manage log here and click on it, and there's a list of report. So there's for example, the train Lenovo from this morning that has tested. We can, if the report is ready, the icon will show like this. If the report is not ready, it will say report not found on the server. You can, if you wait for long enough, let's say 2 hours, 3 hours, something still come up, you can press email, and it will send an email of the log to us, and we can help see what's wrong. Sometimes you're reprocessing logs, so there's a delay or something, or maybe if the log failed to be processed. And this one is, if you want, you can try re-uploading again. And this one means, let's say you are on the screen and you want to see whether the report is done yet, you can click on refresh.
Top one will refresh all of it.
Yes, and top one refresh all. And this will check the remaining space, which is a lot, totally a lot. For newer phones, it's too much actually. And this one, it can also clear up the log file, but we're not doing that now. Okay.
Clear out only the logs which were successfully uploaded, not the new one.
Yeah. Okay. Bluetooth, we don't look at it now. For outdoor testing, let's go into the settings. So for outdoor testing, if you come here, you'll find this part, turning cell files. The format to the cell files is in the manual, but the key thing is every cell file by any tool is a text file. It's a text file, whether you name it .cell or .text or .name cells, whatever. It's just cell. It's just text file. So the formatting has to be followed. The key thing about cell files, one, the formatting has to be followed. The second thing is, we can show you later. The formatting has to be followed. The second thing is, sometimes when you have a cell file, it's come from the system, so it has so many unnecessary columns, like owner of the cell file, of the cell, or vendor or manufacturer, address,
so
whatever.
many things.
So many things. Kindly try delete it to just the minimum that is specified in the cell format, because sometimes it's too much, then it cannot load. So that is one important thing. If you have a cell file ready, like he has, you just click import cell file, choose the cell file to import, and press OK, and the cell file will be loaded. If you want to take it out, you can check. Since there are many cell files, you can check or uncheck them as well. This is the thing about alarms. So if there's no power, means when you do drive testing a lot of time, make sure that it's charging all the time. So no power alarm is on or off, GPS alarm is on or off, and audio notification when download start, download complete, handle. You can mute it from here or in the application itself. And the split log, some people want to split at intervals, like every half an hour. We are sorry we don't do split by kilometers, but we can do split by time. So we click enable, and we select the minute that you want the file to automatically do a split. And then this is the email report. Set it up, and the email will be sent to this address. Automatic, we're not talking about this. So just in case we don't make any mistakes. This is miscellaneous, means sometimes if you try to use a map, the outdoor map, and it's not working, then it says you need to download the Google Map service. Then you can download here or in the app itself. And this is also important, the YouTube. because if your YouTube components is on the wrong version, it may not run. And that's it for the preparation for the outdoor testing, which is cell files, the most important part. And now that the Chennai test report is ready, you can come back again. It was saying report not ready before, now it is ready. What we do is we click download, and it says starting download, the tools will show up. And when it's finished downloading, this icon will show up. It means the report is ready. And if you have an app called Kingsoft Office or Polaris or Android-based Office, you can look at the report from here. So you can practically see anything you want. So let's say I want to see the LTE coverage. I select this, and this is the stat for the RSRP. This is the distribution, and this is the image. So that's it. If you want to see RSIQ, you can click it. If you want to see throughput. So actually, whatever you do, you can view the result on the phone itself. You don't have to even go to the dashboard.
On the laptop or PC.
Or the laptop. If you want to just see it, you can always see it here. And now let's do some drive testing. So for drive testing, we start script again. We run 5 MB again. And instead of going to indoors this time, I just scroll to outdoors. And then I can, once the 15 seconds, this time we use to access the radio sheet is complete, the values will start showing up here.
Download start.
And I can press open map. And now we are in North Atlantic. You don't have GPS here, so let us show other things. So in this outdoor map, the split screen works normally, but we also do a few more things. The first is if you want to check what the theme means, that is.
Download success.
If you want to, when you're outside, you just want to see some parameters. Let's say the RX level only, or you don't want to see anything from GSM at all. We just click off. If you want to see only things from LTE. If you want to see LTE and WCDMA, just click here. And also during the testing, the VCC, SC, and PCI will be displayed here as well. The name will be displayed.
Okay. From the cell phone?
Yes, sir. Now, where's the file for my one? Oh, there it is. Now, if you zoom in enough, you will see the cell file. And I can click on the cell file. And the information on the cell file will also show up.
Download success. Download start.
This is so this is a normal testing. Now, if I press back, I can also go back into OpenMap, and the map will come back again. This is what I just did was that there was this screen down below, and I find annoying, so I just click none. It's click none, which shows up everything. Other options in the drive testing is, let's say I want to get direction. Let's say I want to go to the Sai Baba temple. So I can long press and the GPS shows up. I can say set as destination.
Download start.
And let's say I want to start from the park. I just click again and say set as origin, and then I can click get direction. And that's the route on the map.
Shortest one.
Yeah, the shortest one. This is use a Google API thing. Also, I can do this. Also, I can, if I want to see the distance from, let's say I'm in a bridge here. I want to see distance from here to the cell. I long press. I set as origin, and I click on the cell. Set as destination, and in get direction, there's an air distance. So this is the distance from the phone to me, and I can click draw line, so it can draw a line as well. And also, and I can remove it if I want to. Another thing is a grid tab. Now, this is what we actually hope you have is if we have a MIF file that is drawn in vector, you can download it into the phone and open it here. So what it does, it allows you to see it allows you to overlay the path you want to run, you want to drive onto the map. The issue we have now is that all the files we have, these are in line mode. So it's actually a line, not multiple dots combining into lines. The problem is if the file we have right now, the rest of the files apart from this is Faridabad, are all in dots. So the phone cannot handle dot files, but it can handle vector files. So if we have anyone who can do grid file in vector, it will really help us a lot. In including this into the phone, so you'll be able to open a grid of each part in the city. Another thing is if you click on up there, it allows you to follow GPS, which means if I have GPS in the screen to track me at all times, if I click pause recording, I can also click from the map screen, and I can also take screenshot, which means I just take screenshot of the phone. And the rest is exactly the same. The only difference is that on GPS, you need to have GPS, and we are going to test the Bluetooth GPS around lunchtime and recommend whether we can use this pad with this to give a much better GPS coverage. Okay. So I don't want to save this thing. Oh, one other thing in the managed log, I forgot to show you guys. Maybe. Oh. Yes, we also provide a graph here. Yes, we also we also provide a graph of the SINR by throughput as well, because this actually is requested by some Ericsson team. Also, one other thing I forgot to tell you about the graph is that the information in each of these cells, you can change it. So you can click on it actually and edit. And the range will change accordingly. All credits on the report creation go to Rati. So, thank you, Rati, for this part. Oh, we have this thing too. It's LTE scorecard. The scorecard it allows you to do some very simple, very easy look at the test you have done and see if it passed the threshold that we have set up. So actually the threshold you can change by changing the information here. But let's say if ISIQ, the scorecard says it should not be worse than 15, this is 13, so it passed. So we have a list of this from from the usual radio measurement to camping, attach and detach statistics to the latency and setting up, and then the FTP, because actually we recommend FTP for LTE testing. So this is for the FTP, so you don't see it, because the test we did was HTTP, and also statistics for CSFB as well. So this is what we provide, and actually that's just a general walkthrough of the actual testing. Any questions before we go to the radio between each of the tabs? Thank you. Okay. Then I turn the floor over to Kasvit, and he can walk you through the radio parameters, especially for LTE and other general parameters.
Okay, good morning. So now we're going to cover and see each and every tab, which parameters, where they are, what they mean, and also listen to your requests. Maybe you want some more parameters added to show, right? So okay, I just clicked on net monitor just now to go through all the parameters first. Then we will do a script and see the parameters change during the FTP also. Right? So okay, this is the first tab script Don already walked through. So when I press network monitor, actually is doing a script with a long wait, right? So you can use this for idle tests, right? You can press this and press home, make a call, end the call until the for manual. Now the next tab is the events, right? So if you are doing a voice call, you will see call initiation, call setup, call establish, all in here. If you do a LTE right now, if you have a voice call, like go out and make, there will be CS fallback stuff here, right? We'll do the next demo after this. Now for FTP, when you do FTP and there's suppose you have a wrong file name, you will see the events here. It will say that FTP login fail, right? So that means you need to go back to the script and change the file name, or maybe change the login name. You'll see here. The ping test you do, you will also see in the events here. What is the average round trip time, right? Latency. You also see so many things here in the events. But this is on the top, right? If you click here, Don already show. Like for example, throughout this test, maybe 1 hour, how many call init, how many setup, how many block, how many drops, just summary of everything. Okay, so to the next tab, now on top, we are seeing L3 messages. So this is showing live what L3 messages is being sent or received by the phone and the network. Right. So here, if you are doing voice call, you will see CC messages also, right? CC alerting when it's ringing, right? So here there's it's idle, but there was, normally Android will use some internet little by little. So in the past few seconds I started, there were already some RRC messages, right? You can click on a message to see what was commanded inside, right? So for example here, okay, there's some LTE connect reconfiguration, right? You can see what is the cells to add to mod list. If there's a handover, you can see RC connection reconfiguration to see if there was a mobility inside, right? So okay, so this is the L3 messages. The next we go to the sys. Here you see quite a few parameters like roaming, IMI, IMSI, those are generic. Now for LTE, there's a little explanation that in LTE, normally it's not LAC anymore, right? It's a tracking area code, right? TAC, tag. So here you will see here instead. If there was IRAD23G in the past, it will show here for the LAN, but not in the same field, right? So that's a little difference for LTE, right? Okay. So now another thing we need to look like right now is the access is full or not, right? Suppose we are having SIM, which is the money finished long time ago, lost registration. This kind of thing will not be registered. And if you don't have SIM, sometimes there's question, we don't have SIM, or the SIM was cannot register, or even we have SIM but we are going in area where our network doesn't have coverage. It's going to emergency mode, right? So here we will see limited service instead of service available, right? So this is going to explain you the status of the current situation, right? Okay. So another question we see a lot is what's the difference between Cell ID and Android Catch Cell ID, right? So this is a quite popular question because normally, for example, like in GSM, you can get the Cell ID from the system information messages, right? In idle, you have system information type 3. In dedicated, you'll have type 6. It will have the Cell ID in there, right? Now, when you come to WCDMA, the Cell ID is broadcasted in system information for idle, but not for dedicated. When you go to Cell DCH, Cell ID is not broadcasted. So that is why they use the cell file. This is same for the drive test tool, PC based, that it will match the PSC of the nearest cell file that match nearest cell that has the same PSC is connecting to. So that is the difference. Now, but Android itself in WCDMA dedicated mode, it will try to guess what is the likely cell ID. So that is not from the system information. This can be wrong, right? Android cell ID, because Android is just trying to guess what it is. So that is the difference. So if you want to make sure, you can look at WCDMA cell ID, LTE cell ID, GSM cell ID. This will be more accurate. Now in dedicated mode, this WCDMA cell ID will not show, as I explained, because it's in cell DCH. You need cell file to match and look at cell. Okay. Now, since Ericsson India used this tool for quite a few years now, we have some customization requests. This is like a 3G voice tab. We will have many parameters mixed into one page. Maybe
it's voice only.
yes. Right. So some people want to easy way to make screenshot of both the event counters and also the neighboring cells in one page. Same thing for 3G data. Right. We will have this mix of so many data parameters I will go through, and same for 2G voice, 2G data. These are the customized screens for easy screen capture, right? That's especially used here, Ericsson India. Now, okay, let's go to the normal tabs. This is AMR stats. So now in voice over LTE or even GSM or 3G, if you are using speech codec, that is speech codec, it will show here, even if it's AMR or not, right? It's going to use GSM full rate, half rate, enhanced full rate, it will show here, right? But if it's using AMR, you will also have the statistics, right? Sometimes there's problem like in voice over LTE, the network, they said that if you call and it doesn't reach the end line, let it play some special tune, right? Sorry, you cannot reach the phone that you are dialing, all right? Please try again later. But sometimes the voice doesn't come to the phone, so they want to know what is the problem at the network setting or at the phone. Is the phone getting the voice? So we can look here. These are all percentage, right? So sometimes we see here AMR RX no data 100, means that the phone is not getting any voice at all from the AMR data being sent from the network. So the problem is somewhere inside, right? So these are just some ways to look at it. Okay, next tab, the data. Data tab, this is normally used for GSM 3G. Right? In GSM or 3G, you will have to look at these parameters mostly. So this is a summary. Now, one thing very important for GSM or 3G is that in the old days, when there was like a phone that doesn't connect to the internet all the time, it will need to do GSM attach, GPRS attach, and PDP context activation every time you make a data call, right? But now in the Android, as soon as you start the phone, it already do attach and PDP since when you start the phone. So that's before even starting the test log. right? So how to do? When you do a test and then you want this PDP and attach in the Excel tool, but it's not in the log duration. So you can put a wait in the script before the loop, right? Or you can put a pause. Now, when the pause is starting, you can enter and exit airplane mode, right? So I'll do this for LTE in the later page, but it's the same thing. Enter airplane mode, press and hold power, airplane enter, press and hold power again, airplane exit. It will force the phone to do PDP again, attach again. Then you will get the PDP context duration, right? Okay, so that's about the PDP. Right? Come, go. Done.
Download failed.
Okay. Okay, so this is, but now we're in LTE. It's not going to show here. Right. Okay. Now the next tab, this is GSM frag scan. So it's, if we are in GSM, there's a way to force the phone to do frequency scanning, right? So in GSM you can do it two ways to force the frequency scanning. One way is to enter exit airplane mode as we did just now. The other way is to go to the menu where you choose the mobile network operators, right? If you go into the Android menu and then there'll be some places where you. That's good request. Let's go to
Changing
GSM.
into
Yes.
GSM.
Yes.
So when forcing, you can come here, I think.
More.
Okay, this is a secret code, but I guess so many people knows it. If you want to force technology, easiest way on most of the Android phones is you press star sharp INFO, which is 4636 sharp star, and it will take you to the screen. In this screen, you must be very careful though. Is when you change this part, and change only this part, which is a set preferred network mode.
This one.
Yeah. So remember where we are right now. LTE, GSM Auto, PIL. If you want to do GSM only, because some phones is GSM preferred or WCDMA preferred, which is not WCDMA only. So we just do GSM only, let's say, and we click GSM only. And we are back in GSM. Just a second, want to record something.
Okay, this is the Lenovo issue.
Just a second. Okay.
Okay, so we are starting in GSM again.
Thank you for
to very good suggestion. Let's look at the parameters as it show in GSM, right? Then we go to 3G, then we go to LTE. So you won't see blanks, right? Okay. So here I'm going in GSM. So as opposed to LTE or WCDMA, you are always seeing something moving in GSM a lot. Always paging requests, always system information going even in idle, right? So okay, I come to the sys again, right? You have now the parameters, the LAC showing, right? And to get more parameters as we did, now this is also the same for the GSM, the data tab, right? Let's enter and exit airplane mode, right? Airplane mode, activate, right? And then airplane mode, exit, right? So let's wait for.
Location area data.
Right.
Attach complete.
Okay. Okay. You see, it's a attach complete, duration come. PDP complete, duration come. Right. So this is how to get this showing. Right. I go back to the sys. Okay, now it did a new attached PDP. I also have the RAC here also, right? Deregistered. Okay, that is for LTE is deregistered. We are not using LTE. Okay, so let's look at GSM for more real events and L3. So let's make a voice call. This is for manual mode, right?
90860 52 860 52 7 57.
Okay.
So kindly add
But 00, you need to add 0.
At the first.
first one.
It's
Roaming, right?
Yeah, it's
Call initiation.
So we go back. Right, you see there's a call initiation,
Call setup.
call confirm, call setup means it's ringing, right? Now, Huawei just pick it up, it become call established. We can go back to the L3, you can see there's CC Connect just now, right? There's so many other measurement reports going on live, right? As we said, there's the cell ID actually is in this is information type 6, sorry, not type 5. Type 6, let me get hold of it. You see there's the cell ID coming from here, but you don't have to look here, you can look here. It's already extracting from that, right? Okay. So so you see the events here. We are still in the call now. It's a way you can like hang up.
No, hold. It was hold.
Oh, okay. Okay, you can hang up.
Call ended.
Okay, so when call hang up, you can see that the call end with the cause also showing. So it's normal call clearing, right? So serving the remote user. So it's not problem. If there was problem like you're having network busy, right? There will be CC disconnect coming down to tell you that there's a problem like equipment congestion failure. There you will see in the CC disconnect here, right? Let me try to scroll up. Okay, you see there's CC disconnect going down. So here the network is, you see, network is commanding, right? So network commanding actually why? Because the user, right? So it's a normal, not a problem. So if there's call drop or call block, you can also look at the CC disconnect or you can look at the event which already extract the calls from that. Mostly drop you will see radio link failure, right? GSM radio link failure, it will also show that. Right? Okay, so a little more about GSM. Okay, this break scan, yes. This one we do enter exit airplane mode. It will do it for a few ARFCN, right? This one it will not show the basic, right? It's just checking the ARFCN in the list it has and what ARX level it is getting, right? Now it's doing quite a few, only about 34. It found 27. Found actually means it's higher than minus 103 dB, so that one is a found. If it is lower, it's a not found, right? So okay. But if you want to scan more than this, you want to scan the whole range, right? Maybe you want to scan 900 ARFCN. The other way, right? This is because of enter-exit airplane mode, right? Now, because the other way, if you want to do, you can try to, I don't know what's here in the Xiaomi, I'll try. Oh, no, Lenovo, sorry.
ทำไมครับ
ท่านเคยเจอไหมโมบายเน็ตเวิร์กจะเลือกไอ้ operator
Can you check, sir?
I think it is going to be in SIM management.
You have to scroll down.
Yeah, it doesn't have that, so I mean,
Okay, so it depends on the phone. Some phone you can choose what operator, right? And it will scan for like about 1 minute, right?
It has.
Yeah, you can
SIM
choose-
management.
you can choose.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So actually, we wanted to, scan and show how many operators here. I'm sure you have done. To choose what operator here, it will show this operator, that operator.
Manual.
Yeah, manual search. Yes, correct. Even it's not your SIM. Then you go back to the GSM Flex scan. You will get a huge number of AFCN scans. Right? So mostly it's like 900
It's
AFCN.
not in mode.
Yeah, okay, it's in the Redmi. Okay, okay, yeah, okay. So this depends on the phone. If we find on the Lenovo, we'll tell you where it is later. Okay, so now back to the tabs we are looking. Okay, now in the GSM tab, you will see all these parameters, right? And these are idle mode, right? So there's the GSM, there's the GSM cells, serving neighbor, right? There's another some question that sometimes the basic of the serving not show when you start the script. Right? Just enter app network mode is still not. So it will show after the first call or enter exit airplane mode because it doesn't report the one that is already there. It report when it changed. So the first call it will start showing. So this we already made call is showing. Right? So there's a serving neighbor. And there's also the edge GPIS statistics, right? So you will have the ILC, DLUL when you do the FTP on GSM. Right? Let me make a call again so you can see the dedicated mode parameters.
Call initiation.
Same, you drag the top to go back to execute.
Call setup.
Okay, you see now is in dedicated mode. You will see the IX quality coming, right? Full sub, radio link, timeout, current, right? So normally if it cannot decode the SACCH measurement report for some time, this timer will get cut down to 0, then call drop, right? So you will get okay. Also there's a TA, TX power, these are, and this is okay. The speech codec also showing in this tab, apart from the other tab. TCH band,
Ciphering
algorithm. Now you see down there are so many other tabs, sub tabs here, right? What is it? So that is for when people ask what is the hopping sequence number, HSN, MAIO, right? So that is in the L3, right? But the L3 there are so many. Sometimes you don't want to scroll. Right, so here this TCH info will extract only the L3 that has this value. So you look to the latest one. Sorry, okay. So this one will have like assignment command, right? So here you can see when you click on assignment command, you can see is it hopping or not? 1 means it is hopping, right? MAIO 0, HSN 16, and these are the hopping list, right? So this is the HSN MAIO. Now, as you drive, there will be a handover command. Handover command will put a new HSN, new MAIO, right? So you can click, it will be handover command, handover completer. Click on the last one down, then you will have the HSN MAIO. Right? There's also a COI, right? COI, to make sure, actually, you should make sure that you are calling a phone auto answer number that is always playing something, right? Playing voice something. Because if there's a downlink DTX, sometimes no sound coming, the COI will go down more than real, right? So that's about the COI and serving neighbor, right? Okay. COI worst AFCN means what is the worst AFCN in the hopping list that is having lowest COI. Okay, so the rest is quite normal. Okay, this is data. So let me end the call. Okay. So this data you will see when you're doing FTP, but let's go to WCMA now, right? The next is WCMA. So we go back again to the, what is that? Yeah. this is the same thing. We are doing multitask, and we go back to the one named testing to switch to preferred network type to WCDMA only, right?
Location area.
Okay, now it become edge already. So go back to execute again, scroll down, use execute. Okay, now you have WCDMA parameters showing, right? Okay. In this Lenovo or new Xiaomi, just now you saw maybe change the RAT and this one stop updating. That's just a small bug. We are working on it just now. So if you face that, no issue. The log is still getting recorded, right? But new phone is quite different, you know. So we have so many new models coming up. Okay, so this WCDMA, you will have all the normal parameters you are looking for, like ECIO, ICP, DX power, SIR. Now we are in disconnected, right? Not making a call. There's WCDMA sales, WCDMA data. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So now let me try to make a call. Also, there's some new things requested from the last workshops, right? So this is from normally in the L3. There are so many L3, right? Maybe sometimes it's hard to scroll and look back. What is the latest? So sometimes you want to know what is the, they call it RTWP, right? Receive total wideband power that the node B is getting and broadcasting and telling the phone. When you make a RACH, you know, you should know that the network is already this much loud. Maybe you want to request louder, right? So this is the RTWP. It's called actually total UL interference, right? So right now is it's quite high, right? Minus 82. That is can get from, actually you can look from the SIP7, right? System Information Block Type 7. Now, similarly, normally if it's normally it will be like minus 104 or something like that, but it depends on the network situation. Now there's also the SIP5, the primary CFH TX power of the node B, right? Not of the phone, right? So sometimes you want to see how was the node B, the network was set, you know, how loud was the config. You can see in the SIP5 also. Now there's also some other feature, like in SIP1, SIP19. If your network has it, it will also show. So like if it's on there, if the system information come, like if you have an auto reselect to LTE, but now I put WCDMA only, so it's not showing here, right? So okay, those are for reselection. Okay, this is the graph. So this one, suppose it is said that not to WCDMA only, you can see that what is the EFCN, it suggests to reselect. Okay, this FD is actually a fast dormancy setting, you know, like
first from Bangalore. A question, Bangalore.
yeah, it's this one is like a fast dormancy, right? It say that sometimes the network, the phone is trying to conserve its power, right? So when it's waiting for some data, right, and data is not coming, you know, it's the internet, from the internet, not a network, not an RF issue. The internet source backhaul, maybe it's slow, maybe actually the server is slow, right? Or the data is still waiting for something, right? The phone doesn't want to stay in a connected mode all the time. It wastes energy, right? So there's that feature like fast dormancy in 3GPP release 8 that let's have a signaling connection release sent by the phone or the network, right? To tell that, okay, your data is not here yet, right? So you can disconnect and wait. When there's data, there will be page to you to come back and connect again. So that's something about fast dormancy. Okay, so let's make a voice call and see in WCDMA.
Call initiation. Call setup.
Okay, so now we are in dedicated mode. You can see the RC state has changed to self DCH and more parameters start showing.